Let's turn to a completely different story because Finland has been ranked as the world's happiest country for the 8th successive year. Experts believe Finns' proximity to nature helps explain its continued top place in the UN-sponsored World Happiness Report. The UK has fallen 3 places to 23rd in the rankings, with the US at 24th. Well, the most happy and satisfied part of the UK is Northern Ireland, according to the Office for National Statistics. The report also says that places where people would return a lost wallet are happier. So Mark Easton put that theory to the test in Belfast. Have a look at this.
For years, researchers into happiness have been losing wallets on purpose. And today, here in Northern Ireland, I'm going to lose some too.
Today is World Happiness Day and also sees the publication of the World Happiness Report, which this year says that places where people think strangers are generally kind, the sort of people who would return a lost wallet, well, those places tend to be happier than places where they don't believe in the kindness of strangers.
So I'm deliberately mislaying 10 wallets across Belfast, each with a note asking to call my number if found. So how many of our 10 wallets do you think will prompt a phone call? Are you more pessimistic than you need to be about the kindness of strangers? The academic guru of lost wallets says most people are, and that seriously damages community well-being.
So you drop wallets, see how many are returned. Then you compare it to what people think is the case, and it turns out wallets are returned twice as often as people think, or more. And if we could make them believe that it really was all the time, they'd be much happier.
We'll find out what happened to our wallets in a moment, but the less happy news from today's report is that the UK has slipped down the global happiness table from 20th to 23rd position. Well-being is falling here, according to official UK data, but Northern Ireland remains the happiest part, and that's despite being the least well off.
I mean, 1 gin and tonic in the evening and I'm happy. 2, my happiness is complete.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
One explanation for places like Belfast being so cheerful despite the problems is a profound sense of community.
There's some prawns, like some prawns.
And importantly, according to research in this year's happiness report, frequently sharing meals.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Eating together regularly is as strong a predictor of a place's well-being as income levels or unemployment.
Breaking bread with family and friends and colleagues, it just boosts that inner happiness, because happiness to me, it's an inside job.
Because we know income's important, but only up to a point. Once people kind of perceive their financial needs have been met, social relationships, these sorts of networks become the most important thing in predicting happiness.
Well, there it is. Let's speak to Mark Williamson, who's the co-founder and director of Action for Happiness, the perfect guest. Mark, welcome to the programme. Amazing piece that. So happiness, the $64 million question. What is the key?
Well, I think we saw the key in that piece there, which is happiness comes above all from our sense of connection to others, to our relationships. Although, as we see in the World Happiness Report today, that the quality of or standard of living, our incomes do matter when it comes to happiness. Other factors matter perhaps even more. And perhaps the most heartwarming message from the findings today is that people are kinder than we think they are. We're surrounded by so much sort of implied negativity, so many reasons to worry. And of course, many of us are dealing with real challenges. And yet, actually, all around us, people are much more generous, much more kind, much more desiring to help each other out than we think they are. And this really matters. And this matters not just today on the International Day of Happiness, but also, as we know with our movement, Action for Happiness, where we have 1 million people all around the world trying to put this into practice. We can make a difference in our daily lives on a regular basis through the way that we treat each other.
That's really interesting, because I remember, I think it was the actress Olivia Colman not that long ago posting that she did this thing where she would only go home after she'd done 3 random nice things to perfect strangers. And actually, I tried it. It is much harder than you would think, but in a sense, we can all do things that nudge us a little closer to happiness, can't we?
We can, and it's actually a lot easier than we sometimes worry. So today we're trying to encourage 1 million extra small acts of caring and sharing. And there's 3 steps you can all do wherever you are. First of all, step 1, think of something that's helped you, given you a boost. Lots of us are dealing with challenges. Step 2, think of someone you care about, somebody who might benefit from this thing that's helped you.
Yep.
And step 3, just reach out and get in touch with them. It might be a message, it might be a phone call. Pop round, say hello, greet your neighbours.
Yep.
We all have things that help us, and we can use that as a hook to connect with and help others around us too.
Mark, we're out of time. Thanks for your time, though, here on BBC News.